Please sit with your peers. There's actually an importance in learning in pairs because you're able to embrace your ignorance, so you're able to learn faster. Programming, I felt, gave me the power to build anything. I call it magic. Anything that's in my mind, I can build. And when I get this big problem, I'm able to break it down into small chunks and systematically solve it. My name is Njeri Chelimo. I'm currently running Nairobi Dev School, which is a 12-week program in Nairobi to teach young people how to make web apps and mobile apps and also get into entrepreneurship. So my story of how I got into tech: after high school, I started an internship at an NGO which sponsored me through high school. I was working under the accountant. So she used to tell me to input things into Excel, and it magically did the calculations. I really loved math, and there were all these wires, and it was the first time I had a computer to myself. It was really, really fascinating. So I asked how it's working. She was an accountant. She told me to Google it. She didn't know that. I Googled and came across programming, how to be a programmer. That whole period in my life, it's the first exciting thing that I'd ever done. I quit my internship, bought a laptop with my savings, and locked myself at the IHub learning. So it was the first time I felt like I'm actually doing stuff. So last year in March, I decided to apply to Hacker School, another 12-week program in New York, which is huge. It's really huge. Look into it. I was very excited because I just refused to go to campus. My mom was not going to look for money to pay for my trip there. So I decided to run a crowdfunding campaign randomly. That went really well. 2.5 days, guys gave me 5K. And I was the top of Hacker News for 2.5 hours, which is really, really huge in my world of developers. Then in June, when I was going to get my visa, it didn't work. I wasn't eligible for a tourist visa because I didn't have social ties to Kenya. And because I'm not going to an American university, I can't apply for student visa. I was really pissed off at the whole scenario, so I decided I'm going to bring Hacker School to Kenya if I can't go to Hacker School. That's how Nairobi Dev School was born.
My name is Priscilla. I am a lecturer, or so I like to think. I am a teacher here at Nairobi Dev School. I've always wanted to be a teacher. I was inspired by some of my lecturers in campus. I met Martha on Twitter last year in August. I was on my way to my master's, literally. She was somewhere on Thika Road. I was going to a university those sides.
At the Dev School, our aim is not to make you a good developer or a good entrepreneur or a good mobile apps developer. We try to make you a good learner. So I call it a playground for autodidacts. It's not the typical class, hey, I'm a teacher, let me write on the board and do assignments, deliver them in good time. It's more of letting people own their learning journeys and actually taking it up to themselves to learn and build stuff. So it's very, very different. As you saw in the morning, it's very community-based. You have mentors and other people from the community who come and train. So it's geeks learning on their own with people directing them. So it's a lot of self-directing learning with mentors. Yeah, that's the structure of the school. As I mentioned, we do software training, entrepreneurship, writing classes, and communication classes in the same structure.
My name is Edward Kabwe. I am a graduate from Nairobi University just last year. I decided that I'd branch off into something else, which would be software development. And I was told that the best place to do this would be Nairobi Dev School through my friend who's also a developer. The reason for this is that by the time I finished my major, I was fed up with it, as in I didn't want to pursue a career in it. And someone told me about a programming tutorial site called Code Academy. But then I felt kind of lost because I didn't have any direction or information. And that's when I called up a friend of mine. His name is Chris, and he told me that there's this place along just off Ngong Road called Nairobi Dev School, and it would be beneficial for me if I joined this place because of the way they teach.
You have to have that drive, self-drive. We don't want to push you. We don't like pushing people. So just have that self-drive, the passion, the commitment. Yeah.
I'm Lynn Mugambi. I am currently a student at Nairobi Dev School, which is one of the greatest experiences I've ever had. I started my tech journey in high school. I took computer studies as a subject, and I was exposed to a lot of geeky stuff. Akira Chicks once came to a school and they talked about development as a whole, and I was really interested because I've never been into the hardware stuff. So yeah, it was fun. I felt like that's where I belonged. I got to know NDS through my my uncle who knew Njeri, and he's like, this is perfect for you. So when I went, I think that was one of the greatest decisions I've made in my life, because NDS isn't just a school, it's a boot camp, it's a workshop, it's trying to make you a better everything. Not just a programmer, but also an entrepreneur, a better writer, a better speaker, a better everything, basically.
When you're starting the deaf school, a lot of people didn't believe at what I was doing. When you do it for so long and it starts working, people will agree and people will start helping you out. I made enough noise. People came in and now help me. I've been doing it for more than 7 months. It's not perfect. It's not what I want for it, but it's still working, and I'm willing to be persistent because I know it's going to work. And the second thing I'll tell them is have something tangible. People are willing to work with you when you've done something. There's a difference between me telling you, hey, I have this idea. I think it's a really great idea. Like, this could work, it could solve this problem. That's really great. But when you have something on the ground, it actually shows a lot of, one, passion, belief in your idea, and initiative. See, when I can have an idea of bringing Hacker School to Kenya and spend a year planning, and then that year raising funds and looking for partners, and go through that whole cycle. But when I have something on the ground, you have this small pot of funds. Run a pilot program. Have a proof of concept. This worked. Run the first batch, run the second batch. Keep it going. Then people will be able to work with you because you have something tangible and it's actually working. Put your time and effort into it. So that's what I'll tell entrepreneurs.